Good morning, good morning, good morning, world. Good morning to you all. Yes, and welcome back to yet another fun-filled episode with us here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. As we embark upon what will be another great episode this morning. We thank you all for chopping it up with us, and we thank you in advance for a time that will be had. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we converse about the latest sports topics that have taken place in this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder, that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via our two Facebook pages, the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, as well as additionally our Early Morning Sports Talk podcast Facebook page. And shout out, by the way, to Ian and Jamar for putting that reel for Caitlin Clark, because boy, I tell you, man, whenever we put Caitlin Clark on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page, we get thousands and thousands of likes. And so it is a wonderful thing. And so keep that going. Additionally, you can find us on Instagram at EMSTP_. Again, on IG at EMSTP_. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our Facebook pages personally via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Jones, as well as our guests for that weekend, which include our brother Matthew Morgan Mosley. Today is May the 10th of 2025. We have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world where we saw the New York Knicks, y'all, New York stand up in the first two games of the Eastern Conference semifinals, steal two games on the road in Boston and make others believe and see evidence that this playoffs has been about heart. It's been about heart. It's been about heart. And the New York Knicks, they went in and they took the Boston Celtics heart. And so we got to talk about that because I don't think many people expected to see this, but some of us could see it happening potentially. Additionally, none of us saw the Indiana fellas would be up 2-1. Now, Cleveland bounced back last night, but Indiana went into Cleveland and they took their heart in two games. And so we got to talk about that series because that's something we didn't expect. Last night, fellas, we did not expect to see the Denver Nuggets up 2-1 over the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Matt, whoever, have we been consistent and wondering about the OKC Thunder right in and wondering what would happen come playoff time with this team? What would happen? Do they have enough experience? Do they have enough? Well, right now they down 2-1 against, unfortunately they playing a Joker. But I'm curious to know if picks change at this point for this series. So we got to talk about that. And then lastly, our last series in the Western Conference, which is now 1-1. And some might argue it's 1-1 because of the injury of Steph Curry. But the Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors are nodded at 1-1. And additionally, the NHL playoffs, they are heating up. They are in the second round as well, with many familiar foes in the mix. For our hockey fans, I got to tag Anthony Walsh and some of our others that love hockey this morning. But the all-time great, that's Wayne Gretzky. But number two is Alexander Ovechkin, according to many. And he's still playing, and he still have his chance at a second ring and Stanley Cup championship. Outside of the Dallas Stars and a lot of familiar foes that's usually in the mix around this time, hockey has some familiar foes that are battling for the Stanley Cup championship. And so, with that being said, introducing our guest for this morning, Mr. Matthew Morgan Mosley. Matthew is a Morgan Park alum. He is the class of 2010. He is a football scholarship recipient of Ball State University, which is in Indiana. And he played there as a defensive end. Our brother finished his education receiving his bachelor's, but now he spent times as an actor and writer. Matthew has debuted in 3 films so far in his young career. His latest film entitled After the Rain, which is a fantastic film. Oh, my God, man. Brother, that is a great damn film. I watched it last night for the first time, and I must say, oh my God, I felt you, man. I felt everything in the film. That was a fantastic film. And that's coming from people that live overseas. We watched it and we like, wow, that's a great movie right there. And that is directed by Morgan Park High School graduate as well, Takoya Harris. This film was nominated for Best Short Film at the Nashville, Tennessee Film Festival. Our brother Matthew was nominated for Best Actor, as well as nominated for Best Script, Best Drama, and Best Performance at the Chicago Film Festival, and many other nominations for this film. So, congratulations to our brother. He is we see a really bright future for you, Matt. His other films include Men Do Not Intend to Cheat, which is out, everybody, now on Amazon Prime. And his debut film called The Auntie was a great film as well, and that could be found on Tubi TV. And I got a chance to check that one out as well. And so Matthew is a big sports fan, repping Chicago Sports Ranger from the Bears, Chicago Bulls, sorry White Sox, but he loves the Cubs, and loves to attend Chicago Sky games. And so with that being said, Mr. Matthew Morgan Mosley, good morning, bro. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast for the second time. How are you this morning?
Good, man. Thank you for having me, and most definitely appreciate the words. You know, doing those films, especially after the rain, it being health awareness month, kind of divine that we are on this live and we're able to talk about that. And out of the three, that's the one that stood out to you the most. So I thought that was a dope realization. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on, man, and it gives a great
Yes, sir.
I wish I showed up with a shaved head, man. I feel left out.
Oh man, you good, bro. No worries. No worries, man. No worries. You good, bro. You good. Yes. And so, as far as the haircut, man, remember that you always handsome, man. No homo. And so as far as the haircut, you go handle that after the early morning sports talk podcast. And so and so, introducing our brother from another mother and my partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. N. Jones, aka Rod Tidwell, aka People Hernandez. Mr. N. Jones, my bro, what it do?
None, man. I'm good. Feeling good. How y'all feeling this morning? Should be a good one.
It's a good one, bro. It's a good one. It's a good one, man. It's a good one. Yes, for sure, man. And so, additionally, our partner, Mr. Jamar Goodman, our brother, he can't be with us this morning. He got to get to the bag. And so, we understand that. And so, with that being said, fellas, let's get into our conversations for this morning. And so, yes, introducing our guest, Mr. Matthew Morgan Mosley. We're going to get those tags going shortly. But we got to start with our brother, man. And remember some of our Morgan Park brother, Joshua Blair. And so, rest in peace to our brother, Joshua Blair. I'm just curious, fellas, before we begin our sports conversations, we talk about the work that Matthew's doing. And we start with you, bro. Any moments, any thoughts that you got of Joshua, our brother, who, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, just moments in practice. Always being competitive. Doing one-on-one sessions. He played cornerback. With us at Morgan Park. Just always in a happy and enjoyable state, man. Very athletic, man. You know, shouts out and prayers to his family and you know all our teammates and his classmates and just thing that kind of caught us by surprise and out of nowhere. You never want to see a former classmate and teammate, leave this early. We still young, so that's never, it's never a good thing. I know I posted like a couple of days ago. You never know what somebody's going through. Outside of us being on social media or even outside of somebody you just seeing them in person. Everybody got their everybody got their issues. Including myself. So um, in that passing of time, when you talking to somebody, just kind of be kind, gracious, and you know, um, and we gotta love on each other while we're here, man, and just pray for each other and kind of stay in contact and check up on each other because you never know what people going through mentally. And going through in their family lives and, on a daily basis. So like I said, prayers to his family again, man. It's tough, even, even when I first heard about the news, I was Tuesday. The first thing I thought about, like, man, his family got to deal with this, during Mother's Day week and weekend.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's tough. So, and prayers to his family, prayers to Morgan Park family. Um, another teammate, going too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and Matthew, you was a freshman. When he was a senior, and so yeah, man. Go ahead, bro. You got any thoughts
Josh,
about Josh?
Josh from high school was unapologetic. He was very assertive. I think mentally he was very advanced when it came to just being a leader. And him as a being a football coach, and I reached Coach Stovall once I found out. I saw it on Morgan Park. I didn't know if they were like something else happened or it was. I was hoping it wasn't that, so I sent it to Chris. He didn't reply, but I ended up looking it up, like it's his name, and it popped up with that, and it most definitely put a knot in my throat. Me experiencing him after in adulthood, the times that I did run into him coaching with Coach Stovall, him coaching the youth and stuff. He was an impact. He wanted to be an impact.
Right.
He's been there. We've been there. And he was that person. He was a pitcher. He was like a water pitcher. He was pouring back into the community and in an obscure way, but he was still making an impact. The people who knew, the people sense of just using what he got from football and how it developed him, and he was put back into the community the way that he was, So it is tough, and again, like I said, I think this live today is very divine because the film that you enjoyed was After the Rain, and it's based around Black men and mental health. And I'm not saying that he was going sure, but just the things that I've read, it just comes off that way, and everyone else. So yeah, he might like again. He was an impact, even in a sense of how this has transpired. We are hurt that he's gone. Prayers to his family and his mother. When it comes to the timing, but also I feel like him being gone help. It also puts into us as Black men's mind that, like you just said, we gotta love on our guys. I think the dopest thing about Morgan Park, that from when that 06 year, my freshman year, and that those 4 classes, we all keep in touch.
Oh yeah, we rock for sure. Yeah.
From that I think that when my freshman year, that junior class, then that freshman class that came in, we're all close knit. Even the class that was seniors, the Chris James class, it's a beautiful thing. It's just now, it's the small stuff, the little micro doses of trauma, because at the end of the day, we love our brothers regardless. We went to war with each other, but also we had more than it was bigger than football with us. It was bigger than we loved each other. So even though he's not here, it helps us be more meticulous and attention to detail to the people that we know we care about that we don't always reach out to. So even in the negative, he has some kind of impact. He's transformative with even not being here. So I think that's a beautiful thing to be optimistic and understanding of, because it's a heavy situation. I mean, I think last time I remember talking to Josh, we was talking football. Very assertive, stuff like that. So it's again, like you said, Ian, just never know what people are going through, and just keep checking on people, even if it's a random "what you're doing." They may not answer, but at least they know someone's thinking about them.
Yeah.
So he had an impact, but it most definitely was tough to read.
Wow. Yeah. And to our viewers, good morning. To you, Matt. And I don't know if I ever told you this. when I initially thought of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, it was not Jamar who I reached out to. Guess who, fellas? It was who I reached out to. Guess.
I already know. I can picture it too.
Can't y'all picture it?
Oh yeah, he most definitely was long-winded. I think that was always going to be. It was long-winded, but it was knowledgeable. It wasn't just no randomness. You know what I mean? So that
and I say that because I had a lot of good conversations with Josh in high school in the hallways. But even after, I would talk to him sometime on Facebook, you know, and Joshua actually was the first person I reached out to start the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Joshua Blair. I asked Josh, I was reaching out to him like, Josh, I want to start this podcast, bro. I think you will be great for it, man. I think you'll be great for it. And Josh just kind of listened to me for a little while, and he got back with me. And I possibly think the reason why Josh didn't do it, and it's just speculation, was because he was dating a girl that I dated in high school. And at that time, they were, you know, like social media. What do they say when you say you're on social media and you like say I'm in a relationship, you know, stuff like that. And so he was dating this girl that I dated in high school. And at that time, they were dating at that time. And so I think Josh was like, hey, man, you know, you dated her. I don't think it probably would be a good look that, you know, we doing a podcast together. Even though you my dog, I don't think it'd be a good look for us doing a podcast together because you dated this girl in high school. And she'd just be like, make sure y'all doing a podcast together, you know? And then I got to hear that at the dinner table. I got to hear that, you know, every day we were up the bam. And so
he was assertive. Tell truth.
Man, yeah, exactly. He was a blunt dude. And so I just go to state in, bro. I don't know if you ever know that, but when I thought of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, it was your boy Joshua Blair who I reached out to as the very first person to start this podcast. To God as my witness. Yes. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And so that hit home definitely for me, man. And so your movie, like you say, bro, it's there's no other perfect segue than to talk about and to go into that movie. And so rest in peace to our brother Joshua Blair. A lot of great memories. You know, he's in a better place now, and there's no more pain, no more suffering. And we believe that as men of God, one thing about that football program is that they instill God in us. We prayed every day. We prayed all the time. We prayed for every game. Those prayers we still do. I'm sure y'all still do those prayers. I do those prayers all the time with my daughters.
I had kids. It's gonna be the prayer before night. I already got it all.
Come on, bro.
I'll find the right person.
Come on. Josh is now he's in Heavenly Galore with some of our brothers from our. I mean, let's just sit here and let's think of them, fellas. How many guys we know that have transitioned from our football program? I mean, starting with the great Lexi Spurlock. He's with him now.
Yeah. Jawan, Lewis, Preston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pierre. Pierre Sims was the running back when I was a freshman. Cassiano. Y'all remember Big Cass, defensive end?
I think he's before me, but he
was before you.
He was a freshman in the hallway, right?
Yep. You was a freshman, man. Yep. You was a freshman. And that speaks of mental health awareness. You know, that speaks of mental health awareness. And so it's a number of our brothers that have transitioned. And so rest in peace to Josh. It's almost unreal, but it shows you that life hits us all. And, you know, we just go from there. And so I don't know, fellas, if you got any other words, but with that being said, rest in peace to our brother Josh. And so let's talk about what you got going. To our guest, Mr. Matthew Morgan Mosley. you are an actor and you have been doing some great films. And so After the Rain is a film that I don't know if you had a chance I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but if you do,
No, not yet.
take a look, bro. It's a fantastic film. Tell us more about it, man. And how did it all come about? And what was the purpose of the film, etc.
Uh, Interesting fact. I was a secondary choice. The first person that she had, I think he got a bigger gig. He was more SAG related. One of my
Mm-hmm.
goals. So it was really fine. How it panned out, me getting the part. But I will say the Koya utilized her life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her love and understanding for Black men, her being a mother, about to be two boys. She got a future young man on the way, and you know, just being a good wife to her husband. She, you know, you get a different appreciation for Black men and what they're going through. And she did a really good job, my opinion, of not over dramatizing it, because the stuff that oftentimes that we're going through is not a not always big commotion. Is typically is suffering in silence, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So she
Mm-hmm.
did. I think she just did a really good job connecting it a minute way, in a sense of less is more, because oftentimes it's just like if you think of a coach. We never listened to the coach that yelled all the time because we know he was going to get. But the one that was stern, it's like, man, what does he think? No, I don't want to let him down. But it's also like, and it's in a sense of where I'm going with this. When we're going through stuff, oftentimes when you see someone sitting in silence, if you are a conscious empath, you may notice, you may see something that is off. Those
Right.
small. So I she doing a really good job with that. Again, mental health is one of my opinion, which is why I think I was able to tap into it. Is one thing that I don't, even though we talk about it in our community, it's a trend. It's a trend of a conversation. People are not. I don't think people are really digging and understanding it until they lose
Something
somebody.
happened.
Then
Yep.
Right.
then it fades out again, and that's my opinion on that. But yeah, I think I got into a. I'm trying to find myself, but the film was keep saying the word divine. It was meant to be seen by us, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
everyone should see it just to understand that trauma comes in all different constructs.
Mm-hmm.
It looks different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. The silence is louder. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It helps you understand that, especially from well, a spoiler, whatever. But it's a scene where the majority of the time I'm talking to my therapist in the film,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the reflective thoughts makes you when you're thinking about it, like everything he's going through all stems from something that he was not conscious enough or courageous enough or bold enough to be able to face.
Right.
Because oftentimes in Black families, especially with young men, there is a sense of entitlement to be there, because either we're in a situation where we do have a two-parent household, pop's working at night, mom's working during the day, or it's just mom. But you see people, you see them going through it. Like for me, I lost my dad when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
After track practice, held his hand, took his last breath. That's how I closed out my day. But it's also in a situation where you look at it like, man, I struggled, but it was also like I went to school like 2 days after, because my team was dependent on me, but also I feel like I have to be a certain way because I don't want my mother to see me struggling. I'm sure she is, and those,
Mm-hmm.
it lets you understand that it's a lot of stuff that we're going through. And I'm just going to emphasize as Black men because that's what I relate to, and that's what we relate to, and that's the emphasis on the film, even though it's a broader perspective. It's a lot of things that we think we're getting from, we're being triggered by current, when it's just things we haven't faced.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes grace, but also forgiveness. And people think forgiveness is being able to learn how to forgive someone else, which is counterintuitive, because if you're not locked in on forgiveness of self, your mess ups, your regrets, the things that you knew you probably dropped the ball on, there's no way that you can do that for somebody else. And
Mm.
I mean, in that film, the therapist, she's who's played by Takoya Harris, by the way, is challenging me with questions of why. That wasn't your responsibility. You were a child. Things happen. Control what you can't control, and the uncontrollables you have to let go and let God, or you will weigh yourself down. You got to think. I don't know. In a sense, it allows you to process. And again, this is how I process the film. This is how I tapped into the character in that short time. You got to think of your energy like in a sense of limitless. We only use 10% of our brain. We only have so much energy to use. So you put it in the things you can control or the things you cannot control. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about our triggers from our childhood is we're triggered by the things we couldn't control, and majority of the time we couldn't control nothing. We were the child. Yep. So being able to give, it establishes being able to give grace, understanding that life, even if we don't want to believe it, we can make progress in our own universes, but life is still a displacement. You have to go back and circle back around and face your problems and your fears. So if you have an offspring, if you have a wife that you're about to lead, you can face them the same way you face your own issues, and it allows you to process those things. Depending on how you lock into the film for that 15, 16 minutes. I think oftentimes you see films that are being made and they're talking about mental health and all of this. It's always something that is super big and oh shit, yeah, that I get it. I get why he's going to do that instead of it being oftentimes just the small stuff. My character's issue was he didn't know his mother was schizophrenic. So when you're in a position as a kid and you don't know what's going on and you don't have no one else to supporting your mom, it's you guys. It's like, dang, what do I do? How do I overcome? And you're trying to process something that you shouldn't even be processing. That's oftentimes what happens. Again, I'm projecting, and I say, especially in the Black community.
Yeah.
We like I saw this thing. It was an article on Newsbreak, and it was a quote in there saying that how the white community and the Black community, when it comes to football, right? White community, when they play football, they do it to pull the skill sets, leadership, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know to pull the leadership and all of that, but our end goal with that is to make it a profession instead of using what it gives us to go into a profession.
Yeah.
So in a sense, if you get of that process is for us, even though we say that we love the game, we was passionate, that process really was for us to find a way out. You know what I mean? A process in the majority community, it's if I get it, I do. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? How things can trigger us or alter us by letdown is different because of the lack thereof. The lack thereof entices us to want more. But with us wanting more, it doesn't allow us or it blinds us or it gives us overt nature of not giving ourselves grace. Because at the end of the day, we have to understand life's a math equation. We know the percentages for this, right? It's just we don't allow ourselves to sit and process it because of the things that we try to pry, we try to make perfect, we try to correct, and if we don't do it right the first time, especially when it comes to the people that we love or our surroundings, shoot, we go into a shell. Film allows you to understand this. You have to give yourself grace. You have to understand that your surroundings, even if you impact them negatively, we all got to go through something with someone, and someone's always going to love us. You have to be still aware of your village so you can go through these things but not by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, life's a game of inches, and it's all about stacking your good days. You know, 0.5% is better than no percent, and it helps you process that. And when I did watch it, it still may help me process it that way. You know, when you really watch it full go, and it's like, man, then I really had me like reflecting, like, okay, let it go. Then it, you know, for me, it made me understand that, okay, it's not the forgiveness part. I got to learn how to forgive myself. So I think one of my things where I did it the end of last year, I learned to forgive myself for not handling myself properly my freshman year at Ball State.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how I had a proper season, I was going in with the preseason accolades in my sophomore year, but I wasn't locked in because I allowed losing my father to affect me, knowing I can't control that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But things happen in their divine advances, and everything in hindsight is 2020. But it's as long as that 2020 is being processed, so you can move forward, so it doesn't happen again. And for me, when I say it doesn't happen again, as in like if I have a son or something like that, and a situation occurs, I can direct, I can teach. You know what I mean? Because like thing, his biggest issue was his childhood.
Yep.
His biggest issue was in a sense of like Will Smith, letting the women that's in his life down to a point where you're so worried about the things you can't control, you begin to overtly self-sabotage. So now you're spiraling, think, okay, what I'm trying, what, but you can't try to fix yourself, but still dwell and try to like, man, why did it happen this way? It's either one or the other. And I think with that, in that therapy room, the main scene when he talked to the therapist, she emphasized like it's either this or that. Like, I get it, but okay, what are you gonna do moving forward? Have you spoken to your wife? Because you know the opening scene, he almost shoots her, and that's a thing that's weighing down because he was about to kill himself. Then she walked in on him, he almost took her. You know, and that realization of knowing that I do love her, and I almost took her out. Oh, I need to get help because what I'm feeling inside, how it's consuming me, lets me know that there's something more here for me. But now, how do I face it? How do I forgive it? How do I approach it? However that may look, it's just having a plan, using your resource, and actually taking in what the knowledge that you're getting, the tools that you're getting, so you can be better. You know, it's all about being intentional, and I think that's what the film really conveys. And I just love the fact that when I posted the one this month to give like a real, I honestly didn't realize it was a mental health month. Then we connected. Then the Josh situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. It happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Not saying him passing, but everything has a purpose. Unfortunately, you know. And I think that's what the film also helps you digest. Is like, you gotta roll with the punches and be ready to be constantly growing. Stack your good days, and when you have a bad one, answer your whys. Figure it out, and if you can't, pray on it and let it go, because you only got so much energy. We all got a certain amount of bandwidth that we can deal. You're putting it over here. You want to go left. You ain't nothing for you ever gonna be right. You see what I did there?
Right.
But yeah, you
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But, yeah,
Right.
Job, and she's probably out of the 3 films I did, that was the best director I've had to help me lock in. She understood me, and she also helped me lock in on less is more. Be you, you know, because you know that the main scene of me in the office, my wife walked in. That was, I never understood when actors talk about like certain roles. They were like, man, it was draining. I did that scene 4 different times. Draining. To be able to just, it was draining. It was draining. But it also lets you, the feeling also lets you reflect on like the level of anxiety that we go through and that we can walk out the door and start our day. But we built different. And to know that we're built that different, it lets you know that you can still keep evolving. We can still keep up. We can still push through. We can still cry, which is totally fine. But at the end of the day, shit, life goes on.
Right.
And it is totally fine to understand that just like mountains, they have peaks and valleys. Just like you on your weight loss or diet journey, your weight gonna fluctuate. You training for your pro day or your draft day, you're gonna have days you ain't gonna want to show up, and you may not even be it may not be a great day of testing. But at the end of the day, you know there's a tomorrow, and you know what your intention is. I think one thing I'm a fan of Lil Baby because he said this: I'll never be mad if I cut ties with nobody because I know I gave 100% realness of me, and that's the only thing we have to understand that we can do, and that's what the film pulls. It's like understand who you are, understand the situation, and really analyze: could you control that? And let it go. Breathe. How can you impact somebody else that experienced it? And I think oftentimes with black men, that doesn't happen because we all overtly got a player mentality. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't trust. And if you say you do, it ain't 100%. I'm not gonna say I don't believe you because you know you tell better than me, but ain't no such thing as 100% with that because we're protecting our vulnerability because us being vulnerable, depending on how we direct it, is what kind of helps or dictates our peace.
Right.
If I'm conveying myself well on that part.
Yeah.
So yeah, out of the 3 films I did, that short was my favorite because it meant something. You know,
Right.
that is something I would let college athletes watch.
Right.
You know,
Right.
get a lot of kids where they're you wonder like, man, why are they so mature at their age? Why, they're a great leader, but like it's flattering and it's a beautiful thing, but it's also like this kid don't act like a kid though.
It's coming from somewhere.
What he got going?
Right.
Why you know he seems perfect in an adult's eye, but why so serious? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you think about things like that, but also I think that's where my brain goes to from just coaching and having students that go that you think they troublesome, but really they just angry.
Yeah.
Now, this is like me doing the film and me watching it and have a conversation. These are all the places my brain went just from this film that Decoya made. That's how impactful it was to me and to others that have seen it. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, we wanted to let you, man, let us know about the film, bro. We wanted to let you know that we listening, man, and that we all here for it, and that we got some lessons this morning. And I know I got some life lessons. I know I did, man.
Sure.
For sure, man. I got mine, like for real. You know, like we say sometimes in the church, Matt, like, you know, I got mine. Like I got mine. I got what I you know, and so man, appreciate it, bro. We really appreciate that, man. And so, you know, After the Rain film typed by Takoya Harris, check it out. It is a fantastic film. Yes. And so with that being said, bro, let's talk a little bit of sports, man. And so, yeah.
Oh wait,
Last night.
One more thing. I partnered up with
one more thing.
With a company called Solo Noir. Here. This is the owner actually. So it's a 2-in-1 brand, facial moisturizer, etc. It's a black woman owned. You can get it from your Amazons, your Walmarts, etc. But it's a great product. You know, it based more on health and wellness, things of that nature. Just wanted to put that there. It's called Solo Noir. When it's all
how do you spell that? So how do you spell that?
SOLO. Then the Noir is NOIR.
Solo. Okay.
And it's actually based on It's based around men, but the point of emphasis is not the grooming, but the internal part of when a man is fulfilled, when a man is locked in, when a man has a support system from his woman, since this is, Black women owned, when we're secure and we have a foundation and base, we do glow, we do shine, we do stand out. When we walk into a room, we the first people that they see. You know what I mean? So it's emphasizing health and wellness from the internal and how it can evolve and shine out, in a sense, if you get where the motto and slogan is going. So I just wanted to put that out there if anyone's interested in a new beard product, skin product. It's what I've been using, and it's pretty solid. Wow, but it's pretty solid, man.
That's one of the cool things about podcasting, man. We be running into authors with books. Man, we be running into info on film. now we got this info, man, with this skin partnership. Hey, bro, I want a piece. Right, and you got a shaving kit too.
Come with everything.
Okay. I got a sister down in Atlanta, bro. I'm find a way to connect y'all. And see if I can get that product, bro. Really, I'm gonna keep you in tune on that. So, I'd appreciate that. And so, with that being said, man, bro, pleasure. We came here to talk sports as well, and so the NBA playoffs, bro. Right now, man, we got 2-1, and 3 of the 4 series, and we didn't expect. I don't know if any of your picks have changed, what has happened, but any thoughts from the NBA playoffs, bro? Any thoughts right now? What's on your mind? What's on your heart?
Man, the New York Knicks, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm shocked. Well, I'll say this. I'm shocked at I'm not shocked because of, how can I explain this? I'm not shocked because the talent is there and the coaching experience is there, but I guess I would say I'm more shocked on Boston's end, how they've been performing, later, late down the stretch in the game, giving up their lead. So
they blew up 2 leads the first 2 games. 20 points.
Yeah. So I guess I wouldn't say I'm surprised at New York, but I'm surprised at, Boston,
Hey, it's curious. Milwaukee's in the West, right? Am I not mistaken?
Not in the East.
They in the East. So, because my vision, I think Milwaukee and New York, they gonna meet. I mean, not my bad. Minnesota. Minnesota's in the West.
No, Minnesota.
Right. Okay, yes, Minnesota. Okay, you're talking Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota in the West. Yes.
And New York. I'm gonna say it on live, and people may forget if it don't happen, but they gonna meet in the finals. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Joker look.
I mean, it's possible.
Joker looking like Luka right now, my opinion. He's half foot in, half foot out. It ain't looking too good. OKC reminds me of they the Detroit Lions to me.
They got talented.
That's a good analogy.
But they're elite in their own right, but they're not elite champions, bro. It's not happening.
Yeah. Playoff basketball is different. Yeah. I can see that. That was a good analogy.
That old OKC that they had that didn't win a championship, but it ain't happening. Not at all.
That's a good analogy. I can see that.
New York, Minnesota, and Cat about to get that ring.
Wow. Okay, and that'll be crazy because that'll mean he'll get his championship over his former team, man.
I really feel
Yeah.
Team he just was on last year that was up 2-0 as well, right? Up 2-0 as well against Denver. Remember, fellas? And then Denver, they took him, to 6 games. But
they
7
beat
games,
Denver last
it was 7.
Now,
So
right. They lost.
No, I'm saying they beat them. They beat Denver in the second round. But I'm saying that Denver came back because Minnesota took the first 2 in Denver, remember? And we was like, damn. Then Denver came back and we was like, okay, Denver, they back. Defending champs. They just had to get their feet wet, Matt. But then Minnesota came back and game 7 and shocked the world. And so, Cat, I mentioned that because he up 2-0 right now, fellas, against Boston. And if I'm him and I'm in the locker room and I'm preaching to the players, hey, I was just in this seat last year. I was just in this seat last year. We got game 3 tonight in New York. Let's get this one. This is the big game right here. And so you say you shocked about Boston, bro. Finish that thought, bro. Why you shocked about Boston, man? Because for me, I'm not shocked. Jason Tatum is overrated. I've been saying it for a thousand years.
Here we go. But no, I feel like I'm shocked at just the performance. With them being the reigning champs, and they got a complete team, man. It's 2 superstar players per se. It's just kind of shocked. You should say that again.
2 highly paid players. Jaylen Brown a star. Tatum ain't no star to me, bro.
But I want to say this really quickly. I mean, no, it's the truth. He deserves it. His weak ass, he go literally at the end of the play. Look, Matt, he act like he gonna lay the ball up. Mitchell Robinson played good defense on him. He went left and in, bro. It was the whole reason why they got Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. We all know this. It was specifically for the Boston Celtics. And literally, Mikal Bridges, who is an Iron Man low-key, y'all. That man always available. Yeah. Made sure he didn't get the pass to Jaylen Brown. Who was the MVP of the finals last year, Ian?
Jaylen Brown.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I'm not trying to hate on Jason Tatum, but go ahead, bro. Go ahead, finish.
Me
and Matt, sorry.
It's just shocking to see that for them to perform like that. So, like you say, this game 3, man. If Jason Tatum want to show the world that he the real deal,
right?
This got to be the game. He got to go in New York, and he got to steal one. He got to put on a great performance. It's cool it's cool when you do it in the regular season, but when you do it when it matters in the playoff time, that's when you show when you big time. And he can't have a game where he get 14, 15 rebounds, but he got 19 points and he's shooting terribly. Now he got to come out efficient with that killer mentality. So
he got to get a 30 piece. It's going to be a big game. You got to get a 30 piece.
Yeah, I mean, he got to get a 30 piece, but they got to get the W. You know what I'm saying? It got to be, you know what I'm saying? He got to be the alpha dog. Either one of them, but I would say just for him, he just got to be the alpha dog, and it's gonna be a tough environment. They're going to
they go to New York.
It's gonna be a tough environment, man.
It's gonna be so loud in there.
Or do they win with Jaylen Brown leading? I think that's the issue right there. Like you said, they ain't passed. They didn't know who, like you said, last second, whatever, and they didn't know who to pass to. And what it sounded like, do you need Jaylen Brown just to score and do his job? I mean, not Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and let Jaylen Brown be the control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's probably part of their issue sometimes. I think sometimes they have that down pat, and I think sometimes they don't. Especially when times get kind of tough. When they kind of get kind of rocky, and they're not playing too well. I think that'd be their biggest issue. So I don't know.
Totally
we can see it. I mean, let's just say if they lose 4-1, or hell, let's just say if they get swept. I don't know if they get swept. But I mean, shit. Tonight gonna be. I mean, whenever they play, do they play tonight or do they play tomorrow?
They play tonight, dog. They play tonight. Okay. Madison Square.
So, I mean, tonight is a big game, and if they don't get past this round, man, then I don't know. We might see a big change in the summertime. Who knows? I mean, because eventually, in my opinion, they're gonna have to pick one. I don't think they're gonna be able to play. I don't think they're gonna be able to keep both of them.
What?
With both of those contracts. Yeah, with both of those contracts.
No, I think they got to keep both of them. They're going to have to let go of KP or Drew Holiday or Derek White. But you keep that nucleus.
Yeah, but you need them guys, though.
Is They know something we don't. They building around because you really think about Jaylen Brown and Tatum are interchangeable. They can play up. They can play the 1 to the 3 to the 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just those two alone.
Right.
Yeah.
They can play 1 through 4 for sure.
What? Those
That's
eight
it.
those players and
Right. And so
I mean, I agree.
if I'm
It's
Boston,
just a lot. It's just a lot of money on the books. So I feel like at some
Right.
point
yeah. I mean,
they
also
may
you
have to choose one.
they won 2 finals in a row, right?
no, they
No.
won, but they went to the
They won.
finals.
They lost
Yeah,
to
bro.
Steph. Like
2 of the last 3 years. They went against the Warriors.
2019.
Making to the finals though. They're getting the cap space.
Right,
Yeah.
and they're making the Eastern Conference Finals every year. But remember, fellas, they've been in the Eastern Conference Finals 7 times.
They ain't gonna have no
Seven.
Yeah.
Just making sure they got the
I
right
mean,
piece.
they win every year, guys. They win every year. In come on,
Yeah.
Matt, bro. They had the highest offensive efficiency in NBA history, dog. The Boston Celtics this year,
They
I
got
mean,
those,
they got it.
got the smartest player in the NBA too. Probably the smartest.
NBA history. Not that. That's above the Warriors, dog. That's above the '96 Bulls. Y'all know what I'm saying? That's greatness. They just right now. Tonight, fellas, I must say this. This is do or die for Boston.
Yeah.
Boston lose. They it's gonna probably mess with some of their legacies. I can hear people right now, Ian, saying if they lose, people go, yeah, you're right. They're gonna talk about Jason Tatum as because one thing about it is
It's not gonna be. It ain't gonna be Jaylen Brown. They're gonna talk about Jason Tatum.
They're gonna talk about Jason Tatum. Exactly.
I was
The
delighted.
superstar. Right, the superstar always gonna get that flack. Always, he gonna get it. LeBron get it. Superstars gonna get it. People ain't want to talk about Luka. They talked about LeBron as. They talked about LeBron, and LeBron ain't even like the head man, but he LeBron. And so,
playoffs into the playoffs, they picked the light skinned brother. They said Luka was a limit. They knew why they traded him.
oh yeah, and he got exposed too. No, we said that on the podcast last week. We said that it's a reason why Dallas traded him, and eventually we'll find out. We would eventually find out. And
His defense stats are so bad.
I think we play harder defense than he do.
I can't even hoop and I play harder defense than bro.
Like,
bad.
man.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about everybody on Minnesota. Hey, go at him, bro. Hey, we all gonna take turns. Like literally. But my point is, fellas, tonight, this game 3 between New York is do or die. And I tell you what, Ian and Matt, Boston win this. New York they gonna be shaking in their damn knees because they gonna be like shit.
Yeah, I mean, and we
Defending
could see,
champions.
and we could see a switch. We could see Boston come and use their
Right.
championship pedigree and take the next 2. So tonight is it's gonna be a big game. Tonight is gonna probably be the biggest game.
This is the
Probably
biggest
in the
game.
playoff.
Yeah. This is legacy defining, man. Because
Because of the fans, though. That's why I think the Knicks,
Yeah,
and the momentum that Cat has emotionally as a player going into this next round, and him being here before, I don't see the Knicks losing, man.
Mm.
And they kind of got it's kind of like an overt super team how they piece together. I ain't gonna cap. They like a blue collar. It's like the Celtics are the white.
A blue collar version. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Super team. Like they got players even on the big places and impact. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got depth.
They got a lot of dogs in New York. A lot of pit bulls.
They got
a whole lot of piranhas, whatever you want to call it.
Couple shooters, couple 3-and-D guys.
Right.
They got their closer, got their big man. They definitely got depth for sure.
For real, that's why they built that team. They built that team just for Boston. And so Boston, man, like Ian say, like Matt say, tonight is a huge. It's all the marbles for Boston tonight. It's all the marbles. Everything. It's all the marbles.
Honestly, I mean, if you think about it, like you say, they both pretty very similar in the sense the way their teams are built. So like
the way they built.
they were built to, you know, go up
And look,
against them. So yeah.
he-
right?
I think the only difference is, and this may be the difference in the series too. I think New York know who their closer is. Their closer is Brunson.
Right. It's
I
Brunson,
think,
and Brunson that's a killer. He a
but some
dog.
nights, Boston don't know who their closer is. I think that's the difference.
Right. Facts, dog. Facts, facts, facts. Because at that last moment, he saw what he couldn't do, and he tried to pass it to his Robin. Batman tried to pass it to Robin, and Robin wasn't open because New
who was
York built their team. Well, Jalen Brown, he the Robin, and he tried to pass it to his Robin. But guess what? Mikal Bridges was brought there just for that, and OG Anunoby, Matt. So
wait, I just
they
need to make who you calling Batman.
I see your point. I see your point. I'm just saying I don't believe he Batman personally, but because Ian and Jamar, they know I have been stating that the real Batman on the Celtics is Jalen Brown. I have been saying that,
He's
and
a
I
real
say he's the real dog. He's the real pit bull.
playing with
He's the
cornrows,
real dog.
motion, and he be getting it done, bro. He
Right.
know everybody weaknesses. He know how to move. Just gotta follow his lead. When you try to be Kobe, not gonna say you try to imitate somebody that you're not. When it's not your team, you put yourself in bad situations.
And he at that last draft, he so tried to look like Kobe. He was trying to do a move just like Kobe.
Yeah, you're doing
Just like Kobe.
less is
Doing
more.
way too damn much. That's facts. That's facts. That's why Jalen Brown got that MVP last year. Because Jalen Brown was the dog. He wanted playing defense. He
was
the
a
one
quiet-
taking the easy baskets, the layups. You know what I'm saying? In layups, not trying to shoot some fancy ass 3-pointer fade away like you Kobe. Go sit down, dog. Just shoot the damn ball and put it in the basket. Like for real. Like damn, get the points, dog. For real. Like you sure want to be superstar.
It's
Pretty
like
boy
sometimes-
ass out of here, man. Like for
sometimes
real. Man.
be playing
Crazy.
so hard to be like Kobe so he can just have those reactions. Like he
So he go, ooh, ooh.
to let people know that he can do something so he can push through the game, bro. Just play ball,
For
bro.
real. Man, I don't know if Jason Tatum listening to this, but I bet the AI for ESPN listening to us. No, for real. And I bet you. And they ask we gonna see something about Jason Tatum. He better step up tonight. It's all the marbles. On the other hand, speaking of pressure, fellas, there's a lot of pressure in these second round for all these teams. Bro, Denver's up on OKC. Did you see this, Ian? Because I could see it. I've been saying that for months and months. But no, you said that West was open to anybody. You said that.
It is. Yeah, because I mean,
got Luka, didn't you?
No. To be honest, so I'll say this about them. I'm gonna talk about them very much because I mean they at home, but when they got Luka, it opened the West up a little bit, but no big man, no solid big man. I mean, LeBron 40 and Luka don't really play defense. So, I mean, if they played the right team, maybe they could have got to the Western Conference Finals, but they wasn't going to win no championship. I didn't see the championship, no. But as far as the West goes, I mean, you got AE, he coming up. And, I mean, Denver, they just coming off a championship. You know, not too long ago, they still pretty much got that same core.
They got that same core.
Yeah, I don't agree with the firing of the coach, but that was some personal shit. Like I stated when it happened. So, but still, you know, they still got Joker. They still got they still got that championship core. So
they still got Murray. They still got Porter.
All right, you know what I'm saying. So anything is possible. With OKC, that was a good analogy that Matt said. They do remind me of the Detroit Lions. Like the regular season, they gonna do their thing. They gonna ball. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look good, but that's why I haven't really been sold to say that okay, this gonna be OKC year because I gotta see them do it when it matters. This is when it matters. Yeah, So I gotta see them do it when it matters, and this is the time. You know, this is the time for them to show up and step up and show them why they number one in the West. You know, because if they get put out by Denver, it's gonna be the same song. It's gonna be like, well, they're a regular season team. You know, it only matter when you do it in the playoffs. It's cool.
Right.
You know
Or
what
they
I'm saying?
want superstar away, or they want superstar away. You know, like it's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
of narratives about that, you know.
So, yeah, with that, I mean, this is their time to step up, and, to show people why they number one in the West and why Shy should be MVP, even though it's a regular season award, but still, you know what I'm saying? This is their moment. This is their moment to take that next
Yeah,
step to say, we
you
here.
right.
Huh?
NBA, you get playoff MVP too, right? Postseason.
No,
Not
it's
for
just
not for the postseason, just the finals.
yeah,
Oh,
just the final. Yeah.
that's and that's from I learned that at NBA Live. I guess that was a lie. They-
So,
Matt played
uh,
football.
and with Minnesota, well, with Golden State, um, I stated this they last run. If Steph, this they last run with Steph. They just got Jimmy Butler.
Man, but
Um,
Steph out, dog. Do they? I
I
mean,
know
he out
that's
for no, he
big.
out
That's
for a whole
big.
week, man.
so I'm
He
gonna
This
out
say
they
for
last
game
run.
3 and 4.
everybody been saying they need this. Jimmy Butler need to step up, step in.
Yeah, he
This,
gotta be more. He gotta be more assertive. He gotta be more aggressive.
this is because I think what was holding him back with the Heat was he didn't have enough elites on the team where his personality on the court was offensive.
Yeah, big time.
Now where everyone is elite, where they all can go somewhere and take the reins and hey, shut the fuck up and follow. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That he needs
They've been
to.
there.
He's actually in that space where he can be. They not gonna take it personal. He can be Jimmy Butler in between the commercial breaks, and you don't got to come back to see that someone in his face because they're taking it because it's not how he's delivering it. Because at the end of the day, we know he want to win. I saw an interview with him and Buddy Hield, and it's like how the media portrays them on the court. You would think Butler thought Hill was a goofy, but in reality,
Yeah, they real close.
yeah, they have that public school relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's your Dewar Travis Hunter relationship,
Yep.
and that goes with that entire team. And that's I mean, and when you think of the Warriors, when you got a Draymond, it was only a matter of time for Jimmy Butler to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That he is the missing piece. If Steph comes back and finishes pretty strong, it's gonna be tough to see who's coming out the West. But I strongly believe if New York beats the Celtics, it's theirs.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
If New York beat Boston, is there. Now
and I,
I
It's
wouldn't.
there.
Now I will say this though. I'm not a big Indiana fan,
I've been
but they
saying it for
are.
months. I've been saying it for
But
months.
but they are playing with Houseman. They don't have nothing to lose. Nobody expects nothing from them. To be honest, nobody even thinks about Indiana. So they could come and shock. Now, do I think they will get to the final? No, I don't think they're gonna get to the final. But we have seen teams like that get to the final just based upon being an underdog. Nobody
dark.
thinking about them. Nobody talking about them. Nobody even think that they even gonna get close. And you look up and boom, they're in the final. So I feel like
But this is the thing, Ian and Matt. Maybe Matt, you probably I don't know if you watch the Pacers, but they live by their name, Ian. Pacers. It's a very high paced team, bro. No, for real.
yeah,
We talking cardio. We talking about Lexi Spur like how he would run our ass all day. He was in shape at Morgan Park. That is literally the Pacers. They
it is.
will out. I mean, literally bought in Cleveland to win that game. They had to literally every time Indiana threw a punch. When I tell you, Ian, they had to come back immediately in urgency, throw a punch because Indiana kept coming at their ass.
But I
I
think
mean, they kept coming. They kept coming. They kept coming. And that overwhelms teams. And after a while, it's just like Golden State. They put so much pressure on you. That's how Golden State won them championships, fellas. They put so much pressure on you to where eventually you gonna fold. Or eventually you ain't got a lot of room for error because that pressure is constant. And that's what Indiana do.
yeah. I think
Constant pressure.
how you say Indiana and Golden State. Golden State, when you say Golden State, they're really pressured because they're the Pacers with elite talent. Always have it. If it's an elite shooter,
I like that. I like
ain't
that.
or a Draymond, because
Yeah.
whoever big man for Golden State, Draymond pulled something out of him. I've never seen Golden State with a poof big man or someone that's below average. They're either athletic, when it's come to making a move away from the rim or getting to the rim, but they have a strength. I say with the Pacers, one thing that locks in when you said Pacers, they do make their opponent pace because I feel like that coaching staff knows the talent that they have. It's not the talent that should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's a great coach, man. He won a championship, Rick Carlisle. He's a great coach.
With Halliburton, when he gets the ball, he's a on the move guy. And he can see the floor, and if you allow him to run, he'll facilitate.
That's when you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's when you're in trouble.
He can set himself up, and he can strike from the three, or he can get back to the top, and now we can reset the offense because now we just had y'all running.
Mm-hmm.
While trying to get that together, all right, let's reset the floor. Let's go. All right, what didn't work, but I see what did work is we made them panic a little bit. Now let's slow and let's change the pace. So that's you saying that's what I got from that. Because when I do watch the times I have watched the Pacers play, it's either a fast break. All right, now it was a good transition. They're back, or it's a fast break. All right, they didn't get it, and they're resetting, but it's a strike from mid to outside the arc. I haven't seen that in there attacking the paint. But I could be wrong.
They don't really attack the paint. They're like the Celtics in a way. They literally put a lot of pressure on you offensively, and they shoot a lot of threes, and they move really fast, and it just wears you down. And so for me, bro, I stated to Ian, and I've been stating it for months now, that I felt like Indiana could fuck around and go to the finals, not just beat Cleveland. I feel like I feel like even if they would have played New York, that's gonna be their toughest matchup. If they play Boston, they gonna beat the out of Boston. Mark my word. But if it's New York gonna give them what they came for, because New York gonna be rough. They gonna be physical. They gonna be everything. All that will walk the bam.
That's why
they got a closer. They could slow the game down, New York, because they got a closer. They can slow Indiana down, fellas. I would go with New York in that series because New York can slow them down because of Jalen Brunson. That kills a whole team. If you got somebody like Jalen Brunson in that can slow the game down, but he gonna score or get to the free throw, you know how much that kill your offense? You know how much that kill your rhythm?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I feel like New York can go to the finals if they get past Boston. That's what I'm saying.
So do you think the Celtics are going to come in focusing on Bronson? Because
they better? Shit.
Bronson is the Knicks closer, proven as of recent, but Cat is playing with a different level of emotion to a point where when Cat is confident, Cat gets the ball at the 3-point line, jab, and drive the rim. Like he Chamberlain. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I like the Knicks is because they have a closer in Brunson, but they have a closer in the paint that can play on top of the arc and finish in the paint. So it's like
do multiple things,
when you can facilitate people to you being a Brunson, and you have an athletic, almost 7-footer who can shoot threes when he's pressed enough.
Right, but when he's focused enough, he can take you in the paint too. And I remember, Ian, I hate to cut you off, Matt. You said that last year. I don't know if you remember. I remember stuff. And you stated when they was having a run in Minnesota, you said, Cat, get your ass in the paint. You big, you 7 feet. If you get your ass in the paint, stop shooting all them threes, your team's gonna advance in the playoffs. Because it's you're gonna be a double sword. You're gonna be a double-edged sword. And I've been noticing against Boston, low key, dog, in that first round, he shoots that three. It's been efficient, but he taking you to the basket too now, making you either foul him or he hitting those shots under the basket. And that's huge.
Yeah, big time.
Agreed.
And so just quickly, fellas, Ian, bro, with these series right now, Huge game tonight, by the way, with Golden State. Now, I don't know. I know we picked Minnesota. I know I did. I believe Ian did too. Game 3 tonight. No Steph Curry, but they in Golden State.
Yeah.
That crowd gonna be ruckus too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That crowd gonna be ruckus too. So it's gonna be tough for Minnesota. I don't know, bro. Ian, and I'll come follow up with you, Matt. Any changes with your picks? Who you initially picked with any of these 4 series? Because right now it ain't what nobody expecting none of these series.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I did pick. I felt like I picked Golden State. It's hard for me to pick in the West, but I felt like I did pick Golden State. But yeah, tonight is a big game based upon though. There's no Steph Curry, so I want to see how Golden State is going to perform at home. No Steph. With Jimmy. So I feel like Jimmy got to be that, like Matt stated. Jimmy got to be that Miami Jimmy. He got to come out. He got to want to score the ball. He got to be very aggressive. And if they could get that Jimmy, and honestly, Buddy Hill, he's been shooting that thing pretty good as of lately. So if they can get
Yes,
those two
yes,
guys,
yes.
if they can get those two guys rolling, then it's gonna be a good one for sure.
Absolutely, 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 man. And shout out to that defense for Golden State, man. They play some pretty good damn defense. They will lock you down. But Minnesota do too. And so, Rod, man, I had you on my mind, bro. Good morning, bro. I definitely had Rod on man. And so, what's good with you, bro? And so yeah, man. Matt, for you, just curious, like who you got for? I mean, you got Minnesota, New York, but who you got for these 4 series? Like, for instance, let's start with Cleveland, Indiana. Who you got for that one? You think Cleveland come back? They up 2-1 Indiana. Do you think Cleveland come back win the series?
Cleveland is that blue collar team to me. Their front court is solid to me.
Oh yeah, very.
It's very very rotational. Where I don't think they skip a beat. But I feel like this phase, as years have passed with the Pacers, when they're in these kind of situations, Halliburton comes through. He motivates that team to, I do think they will. I do think the Pacers will make it past this series. For sure.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Cavaliers are higher in the East, right?
They the number 1 seed.
Okay.
One seed.
With Golden State, I don't think Golden State unless only way I will have a little bit of possible that they could is Steph come back. But one thing with Hield is, Buddy if he ain't got Steph, he gonna be he's on a roll now with shooting, but they lost some games because he thought he was the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Jimmy Butler who steps up and he's that assertive Miami Jimmy Butler, but we got Buddy Hield who he knows Steph ain't there. So is he making good decisions or is he just shooting because he can?
Yeah.
Right.
So now how situational basketball look when you don't have a Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Because now they're going into this with a different leader. So it's like what's the temperament? They're going into this game with a rhythm that is new. When Minnesota right now is hot. Hey, he hot.
Yep.
He hot.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Like it's Minnesota.
Right. And so additionally for the other West series, Denver and OKC, it sounds like to me you got Denver.
Yeah. I think Joker gonna lock in. Joker is a guy in Denver, is a team, and I would say they're one of the only teams from what I do know of basketball where they can have one guy that can impact the team, they can win.
Yeah.
All these other teams that's going, they're a collective. with impact players.
Right.
Denver
But
is
you're right, Joker.
Denver collectives too, but like Joker is like Luka and Joker are different. Like Joker is different.
45, 22, and 11 is different, dog. 45, 22, and 11 is different.
And I didn't
Very
even.
different.
For me, I'm just going off just like films. The film I have seen and how he plays is very methodical and high, and it's a high percentage of finishing. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you think of these other teams, you never hear nobody when they talk about Denver. Oh, with this guy and this guy, you think they're gonna need this guy? No, this is Joker.
Right.
And they got studs now.
Right.
But it's
and one thing as well, though, is yes, Joker, but also remember, and a lot of people always underestimate his greatness. But I think y'all know Jamal Murray be coming up.
I'll say that next year. That's why I said he got some stuff.
That Negro be clutch. He be clutch.
He's like
him and Jalen Brunson are like twins when it comes to that clutch factor. Them boys, they gets it done. They gets it done for real. And so I hear you, bro. And so you got Denver. And then that last series, bro, you between New York and Boston. So you got New York, right? And so,
like you said, one thing you said earlier, I think it was you and Ian both agreed. Boston and the Pacers are the same team. The reason I said, okay, we're calling Brunson their closer.
And me and Ian never agree. We always on opposite.
but that time y'all was like, they don't facilitate the paint for real. And when they do facilitate, it's to set up so they dish back out. And that translates on defense too. So when
it does.
When both teams are like this, it's like a game. It's like a game in the trenches for football. You need to be able to run the ball.
Game of inches.
We need to be able to get the 0 foot points. Who the Celtics got?
Well, I mean, you know, the big stars with the big money.
That's one of them things when you be like this. Exactly.
Between Jason and Jalen and who it all depends. But
playing, they can play a total of 8 roles being 1 to 4. So but who's gonna do the fire's responsibility when that stuff locked up?
Man, no, that's facts, man. That shit is
Drew
so
Holiday,
facts.
Derek White, they gonna have to step up.
Right. Because Ian, like you state, man, like that literally it's a game of inches. When Jason Tatum in that last second and those last 3 seconds is contemplating, that's a game of inches. He got to make up his mind in 2 seconds. And if not, he down 2-0 and the whole season not come down to tonight because of that.
Yep.
Just like that. Boom.
We got to stamp this so we can see if I was right. I should play this on him.
Crazy, man. Just how it's a game of inches, literally. Jason Tatum, it's a lot of pressure on you tonight, dog. I've been questioning you. Ian has been on your bandwagon. I've been stating you overrated. I even stated there was a reason why Steve Kerr didn't play you in the Olympics last year. He knew what he was doing. He was gonna throw up all the bricks against Serbia, and I asked what a loss.
He would have
threw up all them bricks against France. We would have lost.
Yeah, I don't know. Tatum he's not tough to me.
That's facts.
We gonna find out if he's tough tonight.
He's like a Kobe Bryant 0.5. You know, he got the body mechanics. He got body. Somebody hurts it, but he ain't tough. He don't finish through things. My opinion. You know.
Right. And good morning, Frank. Good morning, brother. Denver goes off what Aaron Gordon does. Yeah, you're right. Aaron Gordon has been important for them, bro. He has been important. He was that game one. He was also in that first round series. He hit that game-winning dunk against the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? And they was up 2-2. They could have lost that series against the Clippers, fellas. If he didn't make that tip-in dunk, they lose that series against the Clippers. They lose that series. And so the pressure is on New York to win tonight, though. Yeah, I agree. Boston can put together 4 straight wins. They're still the champs. This is facts. this is still Boston. And so, and bro, just curious, is the winner of Game 3 tonight going to win this series for this
I
Boston, New
think
York?
I think so. Going up 2-0. I think in both series that's 2-0, even in the Cleveland series. Whoever wins game 3, I think they win the series.
Well, no, so Cleveland won Game 3 last night.
Cleveland won game 3 last night. Okay.
Yeah, they scrapped last night. It was a good game. Indiana kept coming at them though. They kept coming at their ass. Kept coming at them. But Cleveland every time, Matt, they come back and respond. They come back and respond urgently, like to take their momentum, like urgently. And so, but you feel like in this Boston, New York though, whoever win this game tonight gonna win the series, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And who saw Denver and OKC, man? And so, Frank, you with us, bro? Do you still think that do you still think that OKC is, or did you not believe in OKC? Because we got a lot of folks that believe that OKC, none of us three, I damn sure wasn't on OKC's bandwagon because I felt like they needed another superstar. Do you feel like OKC is still going to win the West? They still a team to beat in the West? Or do you feel like it's Denver or what? Because for me, I felt like OKC was, like Matt said, a great, talented team, really good regular season. When it comes to those clutch moments, SGA sometimes needs some help, Matt. And who we going to go to? Jalen Williams? Who we going to go to? Lou Dort? Who we going to go to? Alex Caruso?
That's why he's not an MVP though.
You feel like it's Joker? Because it's between him and the Joker, bro. It's between them two right now. Who gonna win the MVP? And a lot of people feel like it's gonna be Shea because he got the best story. But we know the best player is the Joker.
Best player, most definitely.
Right.
Most definitely. Put like this with Joker, his colleagues can have a down game and he can make up for it.
Right.
Was it Shea, whatever, he can't do that. And at the end of the day, I hear, well, he ain't got the guys around him. They number one in their respective rights for a reason. And so and at the end of the day, these are some pros that got one of the best records in the league. He got the tools.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
The real question is, why do we keep doubting him?
Gotta prove it when it matters.
That ain't no MVP.
Right.
No.
And for me,
not MVP. He's just giving the same old. He done figured out the
Right. And no disrespect to Jalen Williams. I mean, Jalen Williams last night, fellas, 32. So he had a good game. You know what I'm saying? But SGA, he only had 18, fellas. What is that saying, Matt? What is that saying? He only had 18. So is he the real MVP?
No.
I mean, literally, everybody outplayed on the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, 27. He led the Nuggets in points. Jamal Murray. We know about that dog, Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon, 22. Michael Porter Jr., 21. So you see the support that Denver got.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna. I keep referencing, comparing it to football, but Denver, the Patriots, cuz. Or like, geez. When you say it out loud, they loaded.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Yeah. I'm just
saying,
say the stats.
Yeah. When they put it together and they play cohesive basketball,
they are tough to beat.
I agree.
It's tough.
SGA is not enough. Definitely.
Right. And so, to Minnesota, Denver for the West Finals, rematch of last season semis. That'll be a hell of a Western Conference Finals, man. And it's very well possible that could happen. It was to the point to where me and Ian and Jamar, especially me and Ian, man, I love my brother Jamar, but Jamar he has been very stern for the OKC. Now it's a lot of basketball to be played. We're gonna see. But I can see why, and my whole point, Ian, is I can see why you did not pick a champ, or you would kind of just in various places with the West, because it's
Yeah.
still up for grabs this West. Everything is still up for grabs. I mean, we got just 4 fantastic teams. And sometimes with the West, it just sucks because all the teams are good. It's a bunch of teams in one little bubble. And,
Why do you think the
you know,
West and East is so different? And why
that's
is it
a
all
really good question.
but what I was thinking as you were saying, it's like the East all the way through, you're gonna get that grungy Chicago, New York football. I mean, for
Yeah,
basketball.
it'd be physical. It'd be physical as hell, the East.
And the West, you'll get some of that, but it's really like a air raid when it comes to threes, fast breaks, etc.
Right.
Mhm.
Shootouts.
So it's like it's not there. No team really has an actual identity or makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's can't pinpoint because you don't know what personality, especially the top teams, you're gonna get that night because they're able to adjust.
Right.
You-
Facts. West been like that for years, dog. For me, and the West has always been that air it out, air raid, fun, points.
Mhm.
East always been low scoring, grimy,
Yep.
physical,
Get it out the
you
mud.
know, get it out the mud, like for real. Like, man, dog. And that's crazy, but that is factual. And I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It's just been like that for years. And yeah, that's why I love watching the West, and I love watching the East for like headlines and certain reasons, and you know, it always tends to make for a good finals, but it's always a reason also, fellas, why it seems like the West always generally wins the finals. Most cases outside of last year.
The
But
team
you know,
diverse in how they and skill set.
right?
It's a faster style of basketball, and I think when you describe how you just described the grunginess of the East is coming into the playoffs banged up.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, New York was banged up, Boston was banged up,
think about LeBron
Cleveland was banged up.
when LeBron was with Cleveland and Miami compared to LeBron with the Lakers going into the postseason. He didn't have a wasn't it was more so just he wasn't recovering from nothing for real.
Yeah.
Hasn't been like that from if I'm wrong, you let me know. But since he's had his injuries, but it hasn't been them things where it's like the lingering. Like, man, is he going? Oh man, media's questioning his toughness because he was getting banged up in these. When he went to the West, he's just a different kind of LeBron. He's passionate. He's fading away at the 3-point line. It's a different player because again, the temperament in the West is way different.
Right. It's tougher. It's tougher in the West for sure. Right.
Yeah.
That was a lot of questions that people had for LeBron was when he went to the Lakers. And it was, can he get it done in the West? Because it's easy to go to the finals in the East playing against Atlanta or Cleveland. Playing against Toronto. But can you get it done in the West? And he only got it done in the bubble. So some people call it the Mickey Mouse Championship. And so it's going to be interesting, man, to see like if he can try to hopefully get it done again in that West, where it's 1 through 8 is stacked, even 1 through 10. And so,
Just curious, why you think they like? What's the downplay on a bubble? It's still basketball because the fans wasn't big enough. What?
Yeah.
I think
you
it
know
was
what?
mostly prior to the bubble for me, Ian, and you can go really quickly as well, is prior to it, LeBron and the Lakers and the Clippers voted to not have the champion, not have a tournament after what happened to George Floyd. They voted to not have it. And then they were outnumbered by most teams, and they came and they played. And so a lot of people, once that information got leaked, they're like, man, if they wouldn't have voted for y'all, you never would have got that championship if it was up to you, and y'all would have went with y'all vote.
I call that's. If you're gonna vote for justice and you don't get it, the best thing you can do is go back and take the championship. Then that's a great story. I say
Yeah.
that's something to write about. Really think about it.
Yeah. I think as well, I'll say that as the fans, I think the fans look at it as, they didn't have to go to, the away stadiums and things of that nature and travel. But when you hear the players that were actually there,
The
that
food
actually
was
participated,
hell.
yeah,
They said it was really difficult.
It was
they said it
college,
was,
college
yeah,
negative point, whatever.
yep.
No,
And they said it was great basketball because it was, you didn't have to worry about the fans. It was just, we're gonna roll the ball out. We just gonna play basketball straight up, just
You
like we
just
go to
gonna
the gym.
hoop.
But yep. So they said that, you got guys that maybe may kind of get shy, or in front of the crowd, but ain't no crowd out here. We just playing basketball. We just playing pickup basketball, like we in the neighborhood, like we at the rec or something like that. So when you hear those guys talk about it, they be like, man, honestly, that was probably like some of the hardest basketball. Then, being away from their families for so long, and you know, yeah, dealing, with the quarantine and dealing with COVID, we didn't know what this thing was around that time. So
yeah.
when
Right.
when the players that was there actually talk about it, they said that probably was the toughest championship. But as fans, you know,
The LeBron
I won't
haters,
say my
that be the
favorite.
LeBron haters though.
Yeah,
I
that
love the
too,
championship. I
that
think it
too.
was a great championship, but the
Even
LeBron
even
haters,
if they even
they
if
try to
they
bring that
didn't win
up.
it, I wouldn't take it away from. They won a championship. They still had to go out there and play basketball.
But
Absolutely.
tough and
Exactly, bro.
think about it.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And so I'm with y'all. I'm not knocking that championship. I'm just saying what the LeBron haters got to say. And so, on the other hand, though, I'm definitely. I think LeBron is right there with Jordan. If he were to get a fifth ring for me, he would be the GOAT. That's just what I believe. I don't know if he's gonna get it at this point. We'll see, but I think
No.
it's not likely going to happen. So
I watched.
Jordan is undisputed at this point. It's not even close.
It was like a boring Saturday. I was watching Last Dance, and LeBron, but Michael Jordan is always going to be that, because if Michael Jordan never entered the league, NBA was about to be anyway.
Right. If Jordan would have never been in the NBA, the NBA would not be where it's at. No.
Little
Right.
decade, but he evolved the way basketball like is played. He involved like the swagger and how to carry yourself, all of those things. It's more to being the GOAT than how you impact the floor. Because everybody trying to say LeBron's better because of his stats, man. I mean, that's an inevitable math equation. He's 20 plus years in, dude. I mean, you can't control that. But what
Yeah.
the actual film, not the numbers, on
Right.
film, how the game was impacted. Jordan was that dude, and he
Yep.
probably was, if he
Absolutely.
that age now. I'm gonna put it like this: if Kobe did what he did, and Kobe is least athletic than Jordan, for Jordan now, come on, bro. And picture this: Jordan had when he got to the league, he started drinking cigars. Picture had the dude of today to stay
Yeah.
healthy. But you gotta realize Jordan retired 40 when he was with the Knicks, but he looked old.
Yeah.
Picture if he had the stuff that's evolved the game now, the stuff that's making
Right.
LeBron probably with a biology freaking year old, and he's 40. You feel me?
Mhm.
Right.
Michael Jordan would come on now. I don't,
Yeah, he probably would go for 60. Probably go for 60 on people. At least 50.
Mhm.
Right. And so, man, it's right. And so that brings up that brings up the debate, man. And so, man, bro, what a conversation, man. Man, it's been a fantastic conversation, bro. And so, Ian, bro, I always try to not put you under pressure. I don't know if you got anything for us, but it's something that we always try to do as we end the podcast. So we just curious to know, man, if you got anything for us for Ian Spacey
Uh,
this morning. What you got for us, bro?
I got something for both of y'all. And since we Morgan Park Mustangs, I'll ask y'all, what's your favorite moment at Morgan Park?
Go ahead, man. You can go first,
oh, you
dog.
go. I'm.
You gotta think.
Okay, you think it? All right. Let me see. It was a lot, but I would say the most favorite moment for me was my freshman year when I first joined the Morgan Park football team. Um, I had just joined a team earlier that week, right? And my brother had played, so I went to try out, and I remember going to our first game. We were we were getting put on the map at that time. We were already on the map, right? But I'm talking about the map.
Mm-hmm.
We were already dominant city already, but we played Mount Carmel.
Oh, okay.
And it was the end of the game. Ian probably was at that game in 8th grade. I think he was. And during that moment, Mount Carmel threw a pass, and it was a brother by the name of Scooby who was falling backwards. And as he was falling backwards, he caught the interception as he went to the ground. It was one of the most amazing interceptions I've ever seen. And that allowed us to win that game versus Mount Carmel. And boy, when I say the school, everybody's like, yeah, we got past Mount Carmel, man. We gonna win state this year. If we don't win state, we gonna at least be right there. Like, we gonna be right there for state this year. Like, and that year was just dominant. We beat the shit out of teams. The only reason why we feel that we didn't win state was because of maybe some play calling by Spurlock, or I don't know what it was. Missed field goal that game. Ian. I remember Ian probably was at that game too against Cary Grove. Against Cary Grove.
Whole city was there. I couldn't even get in. It was that packed.
Whole city was there. It was 7-6, lost by 1 point. This was 2004. 04, my freshman year. 04. It was the fall. That team was supposed to win state. That team was supposed to win the state championship. It hurts. It hurts. And I know it haunts, because even my senior year, I felt like we should have won state if we would have had the right quarterback. We should have been state champions too my senior year if we had the right quarterback. Because it was a lot of 07 for us my senior year.
We went to the Prep Bowl against
we went to the Prep Bowl and we played against St. Rita. That was your sophomore year. We played in the Prep Bowl against St. Rita.
At quarterback, Darius Fleming at DN.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but still, regardless, man, we still should have went to the state championship my senior year. I felt like too. But because we were loaded that year. And that wasn't even including all the people we had coming in freshman year. We didn't have Antonio Ball at running back. Just imagine the pressure. Antonio Ball. Remember Antonio Ball? Y'all remember Antonio Ball, the running back?
That was my first ever running back in my life.
Come on. Like, if Antonio Ball was on that team with us, Ian, we wouldn't have had to throw the ball.
Yeah, he was different.
We could have just ran the ball. Him, Preston, Dominique, take us to the state championship. Let's do exactly what these white schools do. Run the ball, and we dare them to stop Antonio Ball. That boy would have went to Ohio State. He would have went to some big-ass school. That boy was cold. He was too strong, too big, too fast. Wasn't nothing you could do with him.
He was a Josh kind of back.
Oh. Man. And then just think, like, if we could have put Deron as example at quarterback. Spurlock did that y'all senior year, right?
My senior year.
You put Deron at quarterback, and Deron just ran around the field the whole game. If Spurlock would have just had that mindset, put Deron or somebody at quarterback, put Ian or Julian at wide receiver. Just let them run, block, like literally. I'm just saying, like, me and Craig talk about this all the time, me and my OA guys. We talk about it all the time.
Deron should have been a receiver.
Okay, I feel you. He should have, but he could have been a quarterback too, because he was just that cold.
Life.
He was
potential 3-star pocket passer. If Deron wasn't at quarterback, he would have been a 4-star receiver. Right? Then we would have had Dominic Bell, a 3-star back. That's three bigs right there. That's a big. Then we had Zario at tackle. He was at the time a 2-star underclassman. We had Gunde, 2-star underclassman. Then you had Terrence and
Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie,
eat him up.
Reggie was.
Yeah, man. You talk about y'all class, man. Yeah, man. Like,
You got your favorite moment, Matt?
My moment.
Man,
My favorite moment is my senior year homecoming. We played Simeon. The following year, we lost to him. I think this year they had like Horatio Banks, D. Reed, Brandon Scott.
Yeah, we lost to him by my senior year. We lost to him by 2, the field goal,
They had
and then y'all. I think y'all had it was a fake. It was like y'all won by like a fake field goal or something. Oh, a box uh
oh,
field goal or some shit like that.
I just remember the sound, and I really remember just the defensive plays, and I remember the special team, like the punt plays. That's on one. That was the only thing I could really see. And I could see Duran running down the sideline. Outside of that, all the stuff I see is like us defense on the park side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the park side of the field every time. Even if our back is facing this way, our back's facing this way. I don't know why. I can't explain why. I just remember plays on this side.
Uh-huh.
But that Simeon team had a offensive tackle going to Auburn, a guard going to Michigan, running back going to Ball State, 2 receivers going to Michigan.
Yeah.
That was a fast.
Yeah, they were young too.
Oh, it was standing room. Standing room. The gates had rows behind them. That was game right there. I think that was the first game I was ever talking shit. That's how live it was. I remember it was a pump. It was a pump play. Mug returned it. It was just one of them. You felt it was about to be sweet. And my helmet came off. It was just crazy. Muggs was on the sideline. You had the girls on the sideline flirting with everybody. It was Texas style kind of engagement. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's South.
Yeah.
Game happened. It was. My adrenaline is pumping thinking about it. Like that game, we was.
Man, dog. We had some battles with Simeon. I remember another great moment in my sophomore year. Now, I was on the bench. I played for the sophomore team. We lost in the city championship. We got cheated. You was on that team, right? And was you on Fox South?
The beginning of that year. So that was my freshman year. So the beginning of the year, I was on. Fox South, yeah.
Fox South. Right. And so we basically, fellas, went to the city championship, lost to Lane Tech at Lane Tech by a field goal when the referees cheated us. And we went to the Prep Bowl, right? And that Prep Bowl, fellas, I think you was on the sideline. You was too. Maybe not you, Matt. You wasn't there yet. But that Prep Bowl was another great
cold
moment.
as shit.
Yeah. It was, man. That was one of the greatest games I ever seen, dog. And just special shout out to Chris and Dub for getting us those rings, man.
It was cold as shit.
That was a classic, man. That was a classic. It was cold. Say it again, bro.
Chris had the one-handed catch to win the game.
That was the game when he had the one-handed catch. Yes, that was the game he had the one-handed catch. And the Simeon game, the city championship, we had to beat Simeon in the city championship.
Yeah, TJ caught in the back of the end zone.
Remember, Ian? TJ caught a Hail Mary, bro. The man literally had to face like this. And Dub threw that motherfucker from like the 30-yard line from the other side of the field. I don't see how. But shout out to Dub, y'all, because it shows you we was living in some special moments, y'all. Dub got benched at Notre Dame by the eventual number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Think about that. Have you ever thought about that? He got benched for the eventual number 1 pick to the Carolina Panthers. Jimmy Clausen played for Notre Dame, quarterback. Y'all remember Jimmy Clausen? Went to the Panthers?
That whole Notre Dame ordeal was
Oh, yeah, you probably don't remember it. I'm pretty sure Ian do. Everybody from Morgan Park was watching that game. We was watching the game. Watching him against Georgia Tech. And had Charlie Weiss, the big hamburger eating ass, the former offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, bench Dub for Jimmy Clausen, who would eventually be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft to the Carolina Panthers. Turned out to be a bust. That could have been Dub, y'all. That could have
They
been
He was
never
a
won.
second round pick.
I don't think they ever wanted Dub though. I don't even. The coach. I don't get how Dub ended up in Notre Dame just because the style of quarterback that Charlie White envisioned wasn't a Dub. So I just didn't get. I didn't understand why they wasted that man's time.
Yeah.
It was crazy because Dub was he recruited by Tyrone Willingham, I think, in Tyrone had I think just had left. And I think that was Charlie's maybe first year.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And so
Charlie White.
Honestly,
and,
he was during that time he was the number 2 dual threat quarterback in the country, behind who? Tim Tebow. It's crazy, right?
damn, Dub was. Damn! I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and Craig was highly ranked. I think Craig at one point was 22 in the country, but he ended up getting hurt. But going into our senior year, I think he was number 22, and I think Dub was like in the 40s, I believe.
Talking about Craig Drummond?
Yep.
So Craig Drummond was the highest recruit ever from Morgan.
Yeah, Craig was a four-star, but I think was almost a 6.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean, Craig had to be something to go to him, right. So yeah, him, Ray, because Ray was highly rated too coming out, y'all. He went to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, we talking SEC. That's a whole nother level SEC, dog. That's pre-NFL right there. You know what I'm saying? And to think about Craig, Craig was one of the guys that, still before some people how he ain't play on Sundays. Like, Dub, it was a couple guys, it was a couple guys. Matt, you even had an NFL body, like it was some guys I sit there and think like, man, the potential to play on Sundays was especially there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. But Dub, man, and just to think of that moment though when Dub threw that Hail Mary to TJ, and TJ was leaning forward versus Simeon. Simeon talking shit like we about to beat y'all again. We own y'all. He caught that Hail Mary, bro. That's one of the greatest moments. And we ran on the field, bro. Celebrated that city championship.
Yeah.
That was, man. That was fantastic, man. Like, for real. So, man. Matt, did you give us your greatest moment?
Yeah. You got it to us. Yep.
Homecoming, we played Simeon.
Right. Yeah, and that's how I came into, man.
How y'all feel about the Bears draft?
I'm not a Bears fan no more, but honestly, I do like their draft though.
Well, we can end this conversation now, then, buddy. You need to move to Green Bay.
No, I'd be anything but a Green Bay fan. I can't do Green Bay, but I do like their draft. I was shocked at I was kind of shocked. I was shocked that they took Luther Burden. I think the tight end from,
Burton was a first round guy that fell.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was surprised that they took him, but I felt like that was a great pick. East St. Louis kid, so he from around in the area. Michigan tight end. I don't think people realize how good he is just because of the offense they played in, and they didn't really have like besides JJ McCarthy, but they really played in a pro style, like
they played in the
run dominant offense. We had to block a lot.
21.
Yeah.
So they typically have 2 tight ends.
But
because of the fact that they don't have an elite passer.
But he's athletic though. He can catch that ball, man. He got some game to him. Yeah, he got some game to him, I think.
Tight end that can put like this. He's Travis Kelce. Tyler Warren is a 0.5 version of Gronk, just because of physical makeup. Because Tyler Warren was an Elite 11 quarterback, left-handed quarterback. He's a what's the dude from BYU? Taysom Hill. He's not
Okay. Yeah.
tight end. He's not a good route runner. He got stiff hips. When he's running his routes, he's extremely high. You know, he doesn't. He's a player that you put in positions to function. What's his name? Love or what's his name again?
Loveland, Colson Loveland, I believe.
Is
Yeah.
Yeah, Colston Loveland. Yes, that's our number one. That's our first round pick.
he's a pure route runner. He's
smooth.
he has a natural release out of the top of his route, which meaning he got the subtleties where he can push off and create space where now it's a catch up. Meaning that means when I hear that and I look at and I analyze that on the scouting report or on film is he's a good 10-yard, 5-yard in guy where the middle of the field is open when we're playing like our Dallas Cowboys who are a cover 2, right? So it's a high hole. The middle of the field is always going to be open, you know. Yep. And we're in we don't have a dink and dunk kind of offense no more. We have I call it a Mad Hatter offense because that's the kind of offense I saw when I saw Detroit, where now we have our version of Deebo Samuels being a burden.
Yep.
We have our version of what's the cat from USC for he played for Detroit?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That is the cat that our version of him to me is the gentleman we got from Washington. You know what I mean?
Zacchaeus, yeah.
We have those pieces and
no, you talking about Romo Duze, right?
No, Zacchaeus from Washington. You know from
okay.
Commanders, not
Okay, not University of Washington.
For me, with Roma Dunze, he is in a league of his own. The draft that he came out of, to me, he was the number 1 receiver. He's 6'3", he's 215, he's a sub 4.4, and when you're a 6'3.5" guy and you're on film, and I can't tell how tall you are because of your movement, your mobility, there's something about you. You know, when you see that mobility and it's so natural, for me, it also says longevity. His body makeup, he's not injury prone. And if he is injury prone, his recovery time, you can tell it's going to be faster than most. That's about how he moves. Typically, when you see guys that tall, it's a transition, but you can tell they're transitioning to a throttle down so they can make a move. And typically players who are like that, they get banged up. You gotta load manage their route tree for them so they're not banging up their body because their body ain't used to doing that. Rome can do it. Rome can move like DJ Moore, but get up like freaking Deacon.
Right, but he's 3 inches taller than DJ.
And the fact in last year's draft, and if you compare last year's draft receivers and now, his route tree on his scouting report, every route he ran for his career was green. He can literally run the entire route tree, and his reception percentage is higher under pressure. On a sense where, let's say we talk about Shedeur Sanders' completion percentage, that's the level of his catches under pressure.
Right.
So that's why I said we got a Mad Hatter offense, because we got players that got swagger, grit, and they're legit talented and athletic and big. I like the fact that Ryan Poles is trying to build a SEC team in the NFL. Yeah. Right? Making sure oftentimes the people they're drafting are all from the Midwest, or they're like from a Idaho or Wyoming. They're all blue collar guys. They have a chip on their shoulder, but they're their own person. Like the Loveland from Idaho, but he a nigga.
Yeah. He's very, very athletic. And I think a lot of people that didn't watch Michigan or really pay attention to him, they'll find out this year. It was a good pick.
And that he was behind. And still the thought process of he got to experience hardball.
Yeah.
So when I hear a tight end that can move and do what he do, and also has the character that he has, I know for a fact that he's gonna block.
Got no choice to use to it.
And the articles that I'm reading with Ben Johnson, which is why I think the Bears are gonna have a different kind of aura. He genuinely means no one has a spot. He genuinely means you as a receiver. I'm telling you this right now. we're only way we can establish you getting the ball is if we running. And if what we see on film is you not partaking in that run, you ain't gonna get the rock anyways. And that's what it is. And the fact that you can come in like that on a pro level, and like, you know, a lot of these coaches, they come in and they're cookie cutter with how they're talking. Ben Johnson's giving the same energy that Syracuse head coach gave when he did his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can tell
Mhm.
I'm not trying to woo the masses and say the right things. Now, look, this is what we're gonna do. I want you to understand this. We're coming in with a family atmosphere, but also at the end of the day, I don't know y'all.
Yep.
I don't know what you love. It's a whole new year. Either we gonna do it, or the only way we can find out is by you guys showing up. None of y'all ain't got shit, and that's what you need to understand. And I really love that mentality. It's like a kinder version of Mike Dicker.
Yeah. And that's what they need. That's what they need. That's what they need. They need a culture change.
Right.
They need a culture
Humble pie.
Yep.
Yep. Right. No entitlements, no
Yep.
nothing. Everybody got to come in and work. Everybody got to earn their spot. Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned that, Matt, because I hope that would be the culture change, like you mentioned, and that the Bears finally need
And just
to finally be the team that we hope they could be.
who are you a fan of then?
Technically.
Oh, technically, are you bandwagon? You got multiple.
Multiple.
He do,
Multiple.
man. He got Carolina, man. He got
Carolina still got my heart. Because of the Cam Newton days.
You used to wear them high Under Armour cleats. I remember. You got them.
No, I never had no Under Armour cleats.
Oh, then it was LaCory then.
No. I always had Nike. I think I had one pair of Adidas, but I had.
He flex. It was LaCory had them Cam Newton when they came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see. I would say Carolina. Detroit is my new.
What about Detroit?
And everybody else is just. I just got favorite players.
I just don't get how you gonna disown the Bears to go.
They stressful. You see, I ain't got no hair no more. I had braids 2 years ago. I don't have no hair now. I want you to keep your hair, bro.
Hey, look.
That's why I hope that Ben Johnson get it done, man. But I like their draft. I do like their direction. I like the direction they going. I think Caleb gonna be all right as long as they protect him and he
protect the kid.
He be smart but he also
went through a violent rookie.
He also got to be smart with the ball. No turning his back to the defense. None of that USC bullshit.
I like the fact that he can do that and still, like in a sense, like a ballerina, still find his spot. You know what I mean? The fact,
that's a talent. That's a talent right there. That's what got him really the number one pick.
Because when a quarterback back is turned to the defense, me as a pass rusher, my thought process is don't break me off. Don't break me off. Which way you going? I got to either commit or I need to commit.
Yeah, for sure.
Puts people in a bind. And oftentimes, if a quarterback's back's turned, the receiver could be moving. But if the DB sees that, more than likely they're gonna be like, "Oh, his back's turned." They gonna trust the D line. My only thing, I really don't want Braxton Jones. I really don't want him to. I pray he don't start. I like the rookie from Boston College. He's prototype. His week during the Senior Bowl at left tackle against, my opinion, the best pass rusher in this last draft, being Mike Green.
Mike Green from Marshall, he's a dog.
Yeah, and I was hurt that Mike Green had his off the field issues because I really wanted him to drop to us. But I'm glad. Make sure you don't drop the ball and don't put himself in no sticky.
Yeah, but I like that. I like their direction, man. I think they're going in a positive direction. But I feel like this is the year that we got to see that jump.
Yeah.
You
know what?
Right. And I feel like if just really quickly, Matt, if the Bears have that jump, I feel like Ian will be back around again. I don't think Ian really gone far away. He just.
But I will say this.
He tired of just seeing the same old.
He
Same.
left us and went to a. Then he left
I
us.
predicted the DJ Moore trade. I predicted the DJ Moore trade. I love DJ Moore, and I want to see DJ Moore flourish. He just hasn't had that consistent quarterback play. There's always something happening. Quarterback get traded, somebody get injured. You know, huh?
We got
Right, right,
Randall
right.
L now. Like
Yeah. That's gonna be big.
people don't realize Randall L is actually he's a true quarterback.
Yeah, people don't know that.
It was
Right.
like it's exciting.
You see it different. You see it different.
It's exciting, man. Really exciting.
Point
Right.
guard. He used to play
Mm-hmm.
point guard,
Yeah.
quarterback. People don't know that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hometown kid too, right
Yeah,
here in
man.
Georgia.
Yep.
Man, that's crazy, right? I mean, we just be talking about so many athletes from the Chicagoland area, bro.
Yeah.
I really,
They trended. They
It's
trended right.
amazing, bro.
I think we're gonna win the Super Bowl just because I was saying this to Brandon last night. I'm like, if we got the Pope, this is for the Cubs gonna win a World Series.
Right. The
The
Pope.
Bears gonna at least make it to the Super Bowl.
Man, we got the Pope from Chicago,
He-
man. I'm representing over here,
Oh.
y'all, because this is a Catholic-based country,
From
dog.
Dog.
Matt and right, this is a Catholic-based
Born in
country
Haiti.
here, and I be letting them know, like, yo, Pope, he right from Chicago, from Chirac. Dalton that's Chirac.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
like,
I
man,
told-
bro. The world just not getting up on Chicago, man. They better stop sleeping
My
on
family
us,
group
dog.
chat said that's how I know it's Chicago's year when you get the Pope that went from dealing with the mayor of Dalton to going to Italy to the conclave.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy, man. And so, man, bro, fellas, it has been a pleasure, man. Wonderful, wonderful podcast, man. I could talk to y'all forever, for real,
Sure.
dog. Like, for real. Matt, man, wonderful conversation, bro. Man, we appreciate the conversation. We appreciate the football analysis, basketball talk. After the Rain, fantastic film. You guys, to our viewers, you can catch that 17-minute short film our brother nominated for Best Actor, Best Writer, nominated Best Film Nashville Film Festival, nominated Chicago Film Festival, nominated various places. Great film, man. And to see some of your movies on Amazon Prime, man, we proud of you, bro. You, Tubi TV, we proud of you, Matt, for real, bro. And we wish you nothing but the best, man. And so as we progress, final thoughts and shout outs. So, Ian, bro, any final thoughts and shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Josh's Blair's family. Prayers to them. Once again, RIP to Josh. Great guy. Just sad to see another Mustang leave this earth too soon. But yeah, shout out to Matt for coming on with us, man. Shout out to all the MP family. It's a tough week for us, but man, shout out to y'all, man. We always gonna be connected, and it's always gonna be MP love for sure.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Matt, bro, any final thoughts and shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Now just proud of the connection, proud of the fact that we all can still stay in touch and have these moments. And again, the week had its heavy moments in reflection. You know, again, even if we're all not super close, we still got that brotherhood. So you know, going from when we lost one school until now, you know, it is tough reflecting on the fact that, you know, we're 33 and we just don't know when. What, you know, so more so, I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be on, allowing us to talk, connect, but also the passion that you guys just have for each other, the passion that I have for you. Gosh, that it's not a shout out, you know. Our condolences and my condolences to Josh's family, his mother on Mother's Day. His grandmother, more than likely, if she's still here with us, and just the women in his family who were going into a celebration of themselves, find into to be strong for one another. So just pray. A lot of prayers, a lot of praise. That's the only thing for me.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I stand testament to everything you guys stated, man. Absolutely. And so just remember, that with God, all things are possible, man. And so we appreciate you, Matt, for joining us, brother. It was a blast, bro. Absolutely, man. The support from our viewers was great as well. And so, with that being said, on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we would like to say thank you all for tuning in with us this morning. Continue to shop it up with us and support our podcast on various platforms. And if you are and would love to talk sports with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we are here and would love to do so with you. Your love, support is truly appreciated, and we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.
Peace out. Hey, make sure y'all have me on when the season starts for the Bears, guys.